Welcome to today's episode of Social Cafe. Get to it. So, Deborah, tell everyone: are you an Amazon associate or influencer? Because I can't remember.
I am.
All right. So, today's topic: becoming an amazing Amazon affiliate. Now, we're going to talk about the affiliate or associates program, but we're also going to be talking about the Amazon influencer program. This is a good time for us to distinguish the difference between an associate and an influencer. So, first off, let me just reiterate Amazon calls them associates, but is really an affiliate. I don't know why they decided to use that terminology of associates. So, an Amazon associate, you can apply for that program. Basically, they do look for people that have websites with traffic and also your social medias. They look at that as well. They can take that into consideration.
And I have a store. I don't promote it as much. I think I'm always afraid I'm going to break one of their rules or something. It's like, oh no, wait, what rules do they have? Or am I talking to someone in private? I know that's like a biggie. Make sure it's not in private. It's always in public and everything. So, although that one's pretty easy when you just think in terms of make sure it's in public. It's not anything that's in a private email or a private message. Anything. And I think I learned that from you, Miss Ileane.
Yeah, and they actually changed that. So we're going to get into it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I should just sit back and zip it, even though I can't
No,
mute.
no, 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 no. I wanted to know your experience because this is the thing about, of course, all these apps that we use, they're always constantly changing, and you just really have to stay on top of, but especially in terms of the Amazon influencer or Amazon associates program. I think as time goes by, they see that some things, especially with their policies, they need to be a little bit more lenient about, and also some things they just can't enforce them. Like
Right,
they
right.
try as they might, they are powerful. They can enforce some things, but others, and we'll just get into it right now because this applies to influencers as well as associates. In the past, you were not able to share links privately, as Deborah mentioned, but that policy has changed. As long as people opt in to your messaging, it could be in your email newsletter. So people have opted in. It could be in DMs where you've got that person to opt in to, like, maybe a chat bot or something like that. As long as they have opted in and said that they want to receive messages from you, you can do it. A broadcast channel on Instagram or on Facebook, because I even have a broadcast channel for my Facebook page. Those all count as people opting in. And so they have removed that restriction. But like I said, with that
Wonderful.
caveat, they have to opt in. So, in other words, you can't just DM somebody and say, "Hey, I heard you were talking about microphones. Here's my link to the Amazon." No, because that person didn't opt in, right?
Right.
So that,
That's great. That's great. So
yeah.
membership, if you have a membership and you're talking about, let's say, sound equipment or something, and probably it's helpful if you just say, I might occasionally have affiliate links, and that includes Amazon, then at least you're letting them know. And they say, yeah, I still want to be a part of your membership. Then you have at least told them and they've opted in to your membership.
Right, because they're, not just Amazon, but we also have to be careful about the FTC. They have their disclosures as well. You're still supposed to say that, like, use hashtag ad or commission earned and things like that. But
Right, right.
nothing for us to really worry too much about. It's just really a relief that they relax that particular policy.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
so just so everyone knows, where I come from as far as these two programs, I started off with being an associate. Remember, I told you associates and affiliates the same thing. And this was before they even launched the influencer program with my website back in 2012. Oh my gosh, it seemed like so long ago. US Sports. Hello there. Thank you for joining. And everybody, anybody, please raise your hand if you do want to chime in, ask questions, or anything. And I think I got in really based on the website, which basic blog tips at that time, back in 2012. That was the heyday when, Google was sending all the traffic and they probably were like, yes, we want you. And so that was great. And but I didn't really focus that much on it until I saw Daryl Eves. A lot of you may be familiar with him. He's a giant in terms of his knowledge of YouTube, and he's worked with the team for the program called The Chosen. But anyway, if you don't know who Daryl Eves is, you need to look him up. But he did a video because I've been his follower for a long, long time, or subscriber of his on YouTube. And back in 2021, when they introduced the influencer program. So here's the key difference that you need to know. As an associate, you can generate links, affiliate links, and share them, as we were just discussing. But as an influencer, it takes things up a notch where now you have a storefront. You have a unique URL. It's kind of like your profile here on Twitter or your YouTube channel page. You have a storefront. Affiliates don't have a storefront, they can just generate links. Okay. So that's one of the biggest differences. Now, there's a bunch of things you can do with your storefront because you can create ideas lists. You can upload videos, which are called shoppable videos. You can post photos, and they just rolled out a new thing called collages, where you actually can create collages within the app, the mobile app. Indra, I just approved your request, so feel free to uh, if you have a question, go ahead, Indra. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks so much for having me up, Leanne and Deborah.
It, it's Ileane.
Ileane, I'm sorry.
That's
It's been
okay.
so long since we've had
Right.
a conversation.
Right.
Um, this is so interesting because I applied for the Amazon account. I didn't even realize what type I had until I was just listening to you. So I have a storefront. So that means it's an influencer, right?
Yeah. And so you
I
have
didn't even know
yeah,
because,
you have a unique URL, which
yes,
is
it
great.
has. Yeah, it has the amazon.com/shop slash Indra Bartona.
There you go.
I'm
Perfect.
in shock. Well, I love listening to this, but the thing is that what I was so curious about is, okay, so I put my little lists up and things, right? Idea lists, but I haven't really been utilizing this. And so I'm really here to absorb, to learn, to ask lots of questions. Deborah and Eileen, I hope I'm not going to be annoying.
No,
Oh,
that
not at all, not at all.
exactly. This is why we brought this topic up today. But it's great that you have both. And I want you to also, the next time you log into your account, see if there is an option to switch, because a lot of times people have the associate as well as the influencer. And I'll tell you why. Even though being an influencer is amazing, because in addition to what we just talked about with making the list, posting photos, but you can create shoppable videos, which is a big opportunity to get paid, because Amazon decides the placement, but every product on Amazon, there is an option for videos to appear on that product listing. Okay. And your video could appear on that listing. It all depends upon a lot of different factors. But if somebody watches that video, they came to that, they were searching for, I'll just use an example of something that I got recently, which was a humidifier. Searching for a humidifier. I go I find the one that I think I want. So now I want to know a little bit more about it. So I watch a video. And in the video, the person hits right on the question that I had. How does the remote control work? Which is one of the things I was concerned about. And also, I wanted to know, how do I fill that humidifier up? Can I fill it up from the top? That's a big thing for me because I use it every day. And so I watched that video, bam, checked out. And that person most likely got a commission from that sale. Okay. So that also brings up another key aspect of the difference between the two. And it's what Amazon refers to as on site versus off site. Hello, Haroon. I see you just joined. Welcome, welcome to the space. And does anybody want to take a guess? Deborah, you want to take a guess of the difference with the on site and the off site? Have you heard that terminology used before? I see you're still on mute, so you must have been able to.
There we go. I never use my trackpad as a mouse, so I'm learning new skills here. It's like, okay, come on, unmute. It's like I want to will the trackpad. That doesn't work. I think I've heard that, but this is why I'm so glad that you're the expert this week, this month, because I'm not the expert, and I admit that when it comes to Amazon terminology on that.
No problem. No problem. I
am an influencer, but I don't know if I should even admit that as far as having a storefront and all that. And I do enjoy playing around with my storefront and putting all my, my video suggestions and all that has to do with sound engineering and so forth. But you are definitely the queen as far as recommendations as it relates to Amazon.
Yeah, I have to say, I log in every single day. I am looking in all the Facebook groups of all the chatter, all the questions, and I've been doing this for close to 2 years now. And hey, Senzi Live, thanks for joining us. And so I know more about the program than I actually make money with the program. So I could probably answer.
Okay, though. That's okay.
I could probably answer any of your questions. But I'm not going to be the person to sit here and say I make 10 figures a month or whatever people say, because that's not me.
And sometimes those people, and I'm not picking anyone in particular, absolutely not. But I mean, sometimes those people don't actually know the program as well, but they do know how to make it make money. You know what I mean? So
Right.
That's not, I think a lot of times the people that know the most are the ones that are out there enjoying it the most, but not necessarily raking in the money. You know what I mean?
That's right. So let's go back to what I was saying about on-site versus off-site. This is important because once you're in the program, you got to understand that Amazon wants your job is to bring them new customers. So you're bringing them people off-site. So you were on Twitter and you posted your recommendation for a new trackpad or a new mouse. And somebody clicked that link and went over to Amazon and purchased it using your link. Because remember, there's that tracking there with your affiliate link. That's what Amazon considers offsite. You bought them over to Amazon. Okay. On-site is the example that I used earlier. I was already on the site searching for a humidifier, and I watched a video and checked out. So I was already on site. Now, what's the big difference besides the two different words? You make more money if you bring people from off-site. Because Amazon's commission, the percentages are small, but I'll talk about ways that you can increase that. But the percentage is small. It could be anywhere between 1% to 4% typically. Okay. But like I said, they do have some programs to help you increase that. But at the same time, the on-site commissions are lower than the off-site. So that's why that's important. Okay, so now here's one thing that I love about Amazon that's different from YouTube. And everybody knows that YouTube is like my number one thing. I just live and breathe YouTube, right? But this is one thing that Amazon does that even YouTube doesn't do. There is a payout threshold. And at first, I'll tell you what it is. On YouTube, that threshold is $100. So once you've been approved, you're in the YouTube partner program and you're making money from ads on your videos and all that, you got to reach $100 before you actually get a deposit into your bank account. Okay. With Amazon, the threshold is $10. $10. So even though it's not based on ads, but it is easier for you to actually get an actual money deposited into your bank account.
That is
Okay.
nice. That's an easier threshold. I've been able to hit that one.
It's I kind of wish YouTube was on the same page, but it's a different business model. It's a
Yep.
different business model. Indra, yes, did you want to say something?
Yes. Hey, Ileane, I'm going to pick your brain a bit because you are such an expert on both platforms. As you know, I do have a YouTube channel. Um, I'm not as savvy on YouTube. I mean, how many actual subscribers do you need to even be considered for monetization on YouTube? And how does it work?
You need to have 1,000 subscribers, but you also need to have 4,000 watch hours within, I believe it's a year. So it goes by YouTube is concerned a lot with watch time. Watch time is a big thing on YouTube.
I think that's a trickier one. Didn't have that much difficulty getting subscribers, but the watched hours, it's a lot of consistency there.
Yes. And so you have to have both of those things. Now, I will give YouTube a pass because you can still monetize even without the 1,000 subscribers. You can monetize with 500 subscribers, but it has to be what they call the fan funding. So you can get subscribers, people can give you super chats when you're live and things like that. It's all through fan funding, not through the ad program, which is AdSense. So you are able to, there is a lower threshold for that. But you still got to get $100 before you actually get money in your bank account. So there you go.
Indra, do you want me to and I'm saying try just in case I mess up on this one, but do you want me to try to remember to include you as far as these monthly events? Because we tend to talk about YouTube a lot as well. And if you'd like,
Yeah,
I can just add you to the reminder when we have these.
sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. No,
Okay.
I mean,
I'll
this is interesting because it's all about with me just juggling my time, trying to figure out. So I'm sort of juggling around everywhere.
oh yeah. I understand that.
Absolutely. This is what we've all been doing. Lisa's here, Martin's here. I have and Poco Lorenz is here. Hello there. And Haroon, I'm not really familiar with you. And it's great to see you here. Please request a mic if you want to also contribute. Oh, I see someone did request. Deborah, are you able to navigate to that?
I think so. I might be slow, so guys, please forgive me. I might be slow, but I will navigate slowly like a turtle. Or what is it? My granddaughter says, "Grandma, you are so slow, but I will walk slowly for you." I was like, "Okay, honey, go ahead."
All
So I'll get
right.
there.
And so, yeah, we juggle. We juggle like which platform should we spend most of our time on, or this is why I love that Deborah and I have committed to this once a month space, so that I know if I'm not present on Twitter any other time, I know at least the first Saturday of every month, I'm definitely hanging out on Twitter and getting to know folks. So,
Oh, hey, Miss Ileane, I came
Yes.
in as a speaker instead of a co-host, so actually I'm not able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
approve
Can
anyone.
oh, right. Alright, so, we need to fix that. So,
Yeah, you know what? I can go and join as a co-host,
yeah,
and then
yes.
I can help you with the
And I'm just gonna say invite as oh, no, I can't even invite you because I already sent you an invite. So yeah, you
there we
gotta
go. Now I can help.
oh, good. Oh, you found it.
Yep.
Awesome, awesome. Okay. Indra, did you have another question? Because when I see the hand, I think that means you've got your hand raised.
Well, actually, I don't have my hand raised. It could
Oh,
be
okay.
a
Oh,
Twitter glitch.
oh,
But
yeah.
yeah, not at the moment. But
Okay, all
I'm
right.
listening. I'm following.
Okay. Now, we talked about the $10 threshold, but also it's 60 days afterwards because Amazon has to allow for people to make returns. So, people that just got a payout from Amazon last week, that was from sales that were made in August. Okay? So, just to give you a little bit of a heads up on that. All right, so there are other ways that you can make money on Amazon, especially if you are an influencer. All right, well, we talked about affiliate links. Now, affiliates and influencers can make affiliate links. There's a tool called Site Stripe that will appear at the top of your page. So, as you're navigating around Amazon, this is where you, as an associate or as an influencer, can go and just generate a link.
I absolutely love SiteStripe. I'm like addicted to that tool.
Yes, yes.
Do you ever have a problem? It's like when I would go to buy something, and I'm using Bendable, thanks to Miss Ileane. She got me hooked on Bendable too.
Oh,
And
yay.
it's like I want to go buy something that I've recommended. And most of the stuff on Bendable I actually have purchased, and I put a little disclosure if I haven't purchased it, if something I'm recommending that I'm about to buy. So I go to buy it and I haven't purchased it yet, but I don't want to use my own link because that's just not kosher. So
Mhm.
I'll use the link from Bendable and I'll open it in a browser I don't use just to get to the place on Amazon. And then I grab the link that isn't my Amazon link and then I go to my regular browser. I mean, it's this roundabout way because I don't want it to look to Amazon like I'm trying to use my Amazon link to go purchase something, even though I know they'll find it out and they won't give me credit for it. But I mean, I don't want it to look like I'm trying to circumvent the system.
Yeah, I don't know that that is necessary, and
Okay, I'm overthinking,
but
aren't I?
yeah, because I guess I'm not 100% sure. I have to think about that, Deborah.
See, I
I
had to
appreciate
throw a zinger in there.
I appreciate that you're trying to be careful and cautious on those kinds of things. And
I'm
so,
sure they're not sitting there worrying about it. It's like how many of our people are saving their own links and then they go back and purchase it. They're just happy we're making purchases.
yep. So another thing that Amazon released because everybody, even LinkedIn, is getting in on this short vertical video craze, right? That TikTok made popular. And so Amazon has a section in their app. And if you've never seen it before, it's called Inspire. If you open the Amazon app, not that I want you to leave, this is only on mobile, of course. Not that I want you to leave this space, but it's the second app at the very bottom. I mean, the second icon at the very bottom, and you'll open up, and it will be a feed of videos that will look a lot like the shorts feed on YouTube because now they have them two up. And not only would you just like randomly see things that they are just like putting people's videos there, but then at the very top, there's a chicklet that you can click on. It's like a menu. I'm calling it chicklet just because that's what it reminds me of. But you can go in there and look by interest. So you could do baking or camping or car accessories, coastal decor. It's in alphabetical order, so that's why you heard all those C's. Nails and art, pets, Pilates. So those are some of the interests, and then you can just browse by interest. So this is another place that our influencer videos can show up. Now, I've personally found, and as well as some of the other people that I've talked to, that a lot of times we do get a lot of views, and that's how we'll know something was in Inspire, but it doesn't always translate into a sale. Because, you just got to think of the person's mindset. They're just browsing randomly, or maybe they are looking for coastal decor and they're seeing stuff. They may be watching your video, but they're not as like dedicated. Oh, hello Mario, how are you? They're not all like dug in, like ready to shop. They're really browsing, getting ideas, sort of like if you were on Pinterest, right? You're just getting ideas to see what people are doing and all that. And Haroon, if you wanted to say something, you can feel free to unmute and chime in if you're familiar with the Amazon programs or interested. Okay, you gave me a thumbs up, so that means you're not. There you go.
Hello, good evening, everyone.
Hey.
Thing.
I hope everyone is doing well today. Actually, I follow Indra and I've been to her spaces a lot of time. So I was just following. So I just came across your interesting space, I would say. And I would also like to contribute. And I wanted to have a question also on Amazon. By profession, I'm a finance person and I've been handling finance for. You can say I'm a man of numbers. So I've been handling financial strategies and investments and everything from 15 years almost. I'm based in Dubai, and I work for right now General Motors. General Motors, we have GMC Chevrolet Cadillac. So far I'm doing good. And when COVID came, actually a lot of things changes with the passage of time. So I started my interest towards, because we were at home and a lot of things we were doing online. So I started moving towards my interest online learning, which is one of is how Amazon is working, how YouTube is working, how Tutor is working, all these things. So I did my research, and I'm a person who does research before getting into something, but I haven't started yet. But my plan is to, yes, like when once I finish my jobs and everything, I will be an online person. So this is my short introduction. I hope it was short.
Oh,
Thank you.
all right. That's awesome. Uh,
Thank
um,
you.
I am so familiar with the GM lineup, but I just want to let you know I'm salty that y'all got rid of Buicks because we always used to buy Buicks. But
No, there is a new
yeah,
model they have launched actually in the
okay.
EV, but it's very expensive
Oh,
and I don't like the
okay.
technology.
All right.
I used to have a
And
Buick a long time ago, but yeah.
actually, my mom had acquired a Buick and she never drove it. I drove the thing. My mom passed away. Actually, at some point, I sold it to my friend, Mr. Rodney. So the Buick is still right across the street here. And so, and also my dad loved Cadillacs. And
Mm.
so, rest in peace. Both of my parents have passed away, but GM is definitely part of my upbringing.
Yep. Yep.
so, so thanks, Arun. Thanks for your giving us your introduction, and thanks for following Indra over here to the space.
Yes.
So here's another thing I want to tell you about, and this is the part I was mentioning earlier that I asked Notebook LM to go through my notes. And if you're familiar with Notebook LM, it will generate a podcast based on, whatever sources that you give it. And so, one mistake that it made, and it has to do with this next feature, it's called creator ads. So now, what are creator ads? First, I'll tell you what Notebook LM said, but I'll let you know this is wrong. Notebook LM and the little podcast that they had, the girl said, yeah, the creator ads are really cool. You can place ads on your content on different platforms and blah, 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 blah. No, don't ever do that. Don't you dare do that. Creator ads are when Amazon has seen your content is converting well, or whatever qualifications they use to determine, and they select your video or your photo and they run ads. But you have to opt into this. Because even though you've signed terms of service, or you've agreed to the terms of service and all that, really they own the content in a way. They could do it without your signing in, but there is a special opt-in. And by the way, I just noticed Balita Timo. I love that name. Hi, thank you so much for joining us. So that's what creator ads are, and so don't believe Notebook LM, because if they catch you running ads against their stuff, you'll be in trouble with your Amazon account.
And you don't want that, not with Amazon.
Right. So the workaround for that, though, if you have a website and you have your Amazon links there on your website, then you can run ads. It's your website. They don't want you really competing with their, like for Amazon. You can't like bid on that with Google or anything like that. The words Amazon, but they can't stop you from running ads to your own website. Okay.
That's a great workaround. And
Yeah.
I said that I wanted to let people know, as far as on the top, I know we're not talking about Notebook LM in this topic, but the other thing too is, and just really briefly, but I used Notebook LM last week, and I was listening to it, and it's a cool feature, but running a podcast, and it mentioned something that I remember mentioning to Michael, my husband, in private. And granted, it just happens. I got to check in here. Let's see. Nope, she doesn't respond to Alexa. We had an Alexa in the bedroom. In fact, we had 3 of them. So it is possible that, in fact, I'm sure that the devices heard it. And so there's recordings on Amazon. But I'm thinking, does Google Notebook LM, it should not have accessed the recordings unless it does access the recording. That's a question mark in my head. I don't know if Google's crossing over and accessing private login as far as Amazon and the recordings, because this information that Notebook LM had was not in the sources. I had 3 sources, and 2 of the sources had nothing to do with me. And the other one was my LinkedIn profile. And there's nothing. I went back over my LinkedIn profile. There's nothing in that information. I mean, I would not have put a private conversation between my husband and I into my LinkedIn. Why would I do that? That makes no sense whatsoever. But this podcast that it came up with mentioned something that my husband and I had conversed about at some point, and it was something that could have gotten him in trouble at work. And I thought, this is really weird. I mean, it's got that like Twilight, it's like, how is that in Notebook LM? And it still has me puzzled. And it's not something that was on the internet because I'm thinking, well, Notebook LM is Google, so it could go out somewhere in a search and find it, but it's not something that would have been anywhere on anybody's website. It was very, 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 very private.
Yeah, a lot of these AIs, we definitely do have to be, like cautious and concerned about those things. Listening, like you said, Alexa, we know that it's always listening to us, unless you turn it off. But yeah, I don't know I doubt if Michael has an Android phone. That was the other thing.
He has an iPhone.
Okay, so yeah, and the way we think of Apple is that there's no way they're getting the data from Apple, because Apple's listening too, right? Because you got an iPhone, they're listening. But
you just never know where it got me thinking, if Google and Amazon, and I'm not Google, Amazon, you're listening, I'm not accusing you guys of being in bed together, but I mean, it just makes me wonder if they have a creative collaboration. I'm saying that in a positive way, meaning for good, but somehow there's crossing over as far as data. and
Could be.
somehow that data crossed over, because I know that the Alexa machines would have had that in their recordings, and I hadn't deleted them yet. So, because you can go in and delete anything
Right.
that Alexa's
Yeah.
heard. So I hadn't done that yet. So I'm just like, how did they get that information?
That is so weird. That's so
Yeah, so
weird.
just something to be wary if you're using Notebook LM, which is a really cool process, and it's similar to Podera. Again, different topic for a different time, but if you're using that, be sure to listen to your podcast recording, just like Miss Ileane was saying, as far as this information that was incorrect as far as Amazon. Be sure to listen to it before you put it out there to the public.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, but I will say though that for the most part, it did do a great job of summarizing my notes. And of course, they make you seem like you're the star of the show because they're like, today we're getting the information from Miss Ileane, and she really knows her stuff. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, wow, they trained this AI really good
Oh,
to
it's
butter you
wonderful.
up.
Yeah. They did that. Madeline had that on her new shortcuts on Thursday that she has, Madeline shortcuts, and she let
Mhm.
us listen to hers too, and it was wonderful. I mean, it had her like she was the top expert that ever lived. It's like it was
Right.
awesome. Yeah,
Yes, yes.
Madeline Sklar. I'm sorry, I didn't say her last name, but yeah, shout out to Madeline Sklar.
Yep, so cool. So the other there's a bunch of ways that you can make money on Amazon. So let me just recap these two that I said already, which was the affiliate links, Amazon Inspire, and then I talked about the creator ads. But one of the I want to say that it's innovative, but it's really not. It's called Creator Connections, and it really is a straight up ripoff of the Logie site that I have been affiliated with and do mentoring and Logie. And I'll tell you about Logie first. What Logie does is it integrates using the API of Amazon because they have a very close relationship with their ties to Amazon go really deep on the seller side and all that. So Logie is a tool and it's free. And I've done a video about it. And it goes in and it's able to connect you with brands based on the sales that you've been making. And they have a list of brands that have participated in the Logie program. And with those specific brands, they can use AI to match you with the products of a brand. And what these brands do is they have said that they would give, instead of the 1% or 2%, they go over and above and they go from 20 all the way as high as 50% commissions once you've been connected through Logie. And this has been great for me. It's one of my favorite things about the program because in addition to the AI matching you, you also can just go in to the Logie dashboard and see hundreds of brands and hundreds of products, search for products that you want, products that you need. And once you pick those products, you can either purchase it or sometimes they have a coupon for you so you can purchase at a reduced price. And when you sell those products, because you're already in the Logie ecosystem, you would just automatically get on top of that commission that you get from Amazon, that 1%, 2%, 3%, you would get your 20, 30, 35, 40, 50% through Logie. Just all depends upon what the brand is offering and the product. And so I've been a huge fan of Logie, and this is where I've learned a lot as well. Ehud Segev is one of the founders, and the other one's name is Stas. And they put their heads together, and like I said, there's been a long relationship that they've had with Amazon, and they were the first um, third party app to offer this kind of thing. And then there's been other copycats that have come along and have done things on a smaller scale than what Logie does. But now Amazon has decided that they went in on this action as well. So they have offered to brands that they can, here's the difference. They do it for a limited time. Let's say a brand, because Logitech, I'll use them as an example because they ran a campaign. A brand can run a campaign, and I guess they get to choose the time span. I'm not really sure. Let's say for 3 months, they're doing a special promo, and they can list it in this area of Amazon in our back end that's called Creator Connections. You accept the campaign and you're supposed to promote that specific product because Logitech's not going to put all their products in there. They're just going to say this specific mouse because this is the new one we launched, or this is the one we're trying to get rid of because we got too much inventory, whatever. I don't know what their criteria is. I'm just making that part up, right? So they will say these specific mice or mics or whatever they may be, for this limited amount of time, we're offering a higher percentage. And you have to go into Creator Connections and really just look to see if you can find, and there's thousands that you have to literally look through. You can do some searching, but it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You don't really know what you're looking for. And but it can work. It can work if you spend some time, like if you dedicate like 15-20 minutes a day going in there looking to see if products that you're interested in are offering the higher percentage. And it's been a great thing. And I see Martin, looks like you have your hand up.
Yes, I have.
Hi.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yes,
Yep.
loud and clear.
Good.
Yeah.
Good, because I was looking for my lavalier mic and I don't know where I put it. So it's a simple headset here. I'm
You
not
sound
an
good.
I'm an intellectual nano influencer, so I'm not approved at this Amazon program. I'm too small yet. But thanks for mentioning this being able, because I did a new podcast episode of my new podcast Pluck the Day, and then I talked about affiliate programs and referral marketing, and I had that back in my mind talking about that, but I forgot about it, so I could do an update with that. And a short comment, because that may be for some other time, and I'm happy to talk more about that as a podcaster since a long time ago, about AI generated things and maybe what you could do, some kind of notification for the listeners that it's generated. And also you talked about Amazon and Apple, and I'm an Apple fanboy, but a critical one. And I think they talk to each other, so to speak, because I have talked on my iPhone about things, and then uh, for some reason I see ads for that on Google Mail or in some other places on my computer. And that seems to be a very interesting coincidence. So
That is
I think
interesting.
there is. I think they are doing something. So that could be an interesting reflection what you did. That a bit scary, but also, I mean, if you use it in a good way, I hopefully it will work out fine. But I wanted to say that. So thanks again for being able. I will do more about that. I did search on my Gmail and got an email for some time ago referring to you, Ileane, from some person working there, and so I will look more into that. And yeah, that's it for now, I think. So thanks.
Great, great. I'm so glad that you're checking out Bendable. Bendable is a place that we, as influencers and affiliates, can post our links because Bendable is, just to give people a quick overview of Bendable. Bendable is a place where you go and you create lists of things you love. And it doesn't have to be affiliate products, but you can always add those as well. So it could be places that you like to go to eat, or it could be um, the things that you use when you're cooking. right? So the things you use when you're cooking, they're mostly going to be affiliate links. But the places you go to eat, probably not going to be affiliate links. Okay, unless you throw Whole Foods or something in there. but but the thing is about Benable is that it opens a big opportunity and is different from everything we've been talking about today because they have affiliate relationships with 30,000 plus different brands where you can have the opportunity to make money just based on your list and someone clicking through and shopping from your list. So
Well, and
it,
it's
it
helpful to us too, as far as
Mhm.
like I needed I won't go all into it, but it's basically a recipe as far as how to do this certain. It's not just a recipe, but how to actually create this thing. So I made it for myself too because, and I'm going to create a pod or not a podcast, well maybe a podcast, a blog post on how to do it because nobody had written about it, how to do this particular thing. Well, by doing it on Benable, I had my own list, so it's like, wait, how do I do this? Let me pull up my list, and I had everything right in front of me. So it helps both ways. It helps other people to be able to replicate it, and it helps you yourself to be able to put your thoughts together.
Awesome. And then they like I said, they're affiliated with Amazon as well. And so that's why it definitely was appropriate for us to talk about it today. Martin, did you want to say something else or
Yes, yes, please.
yeah.
Short one. Could you put that in the nest, or what do you call it, or send something on Twitter X, or maybe direct to your blog post about this? I didn't catch the word that Logie and related services like that.
Okay. I will do it afterwards because
Yeah,
for some reason when
please
you
do.
uh, and who knows, it might work today, but I just
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
yeah,
That's okay.
for some reason when you're on desktop, the Nest won't
Yeah,
even come up as an option to
yeah.
share it to.
No,
So
no problem.
but
Thanks.
let me write down a note to share
Yeah,
Logie with you because I have a blog post on both Logie, of course, and
thanks.
Benable, even though you know about it already.
Yeah, but
um,
that's good.
all
Good, please
right,
do.
great.
Thanks.
Thanks, Martin. Thank you so much.
Miss
And go
Miss
ahead.
Ileane, one other
Yeah.
thing that maybe just briefly, because it's something that I know I run into like almost daily, where people are contacting me and saying, "Will you come be? I'm an Amazon influencer. Will you come share my products or something?" And I keep telling them that I can't because I'll. Well, anyway, I keep telling them I'll get in trouble because I don't think that Amazon really likes us being paid to review products. I don't think that, and I just saw an email from Amazon, this past week, where it seems like they addressed that directly and said, "Do not do that."
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I've been telling people constantly, like every day I have to go respond to all these messages that I get on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere saying I'm not reviewing products, which isn't necessarily true. I do review the products that I review, but I don't review products for companies that are going to offer to pay me.
Yeah, it's all about semantics. It's semantics, Deborah, and you're absolutely right. We, not just influencers or associates, customers of Amazon cannot do reviews for money. We cannot be paid to do reviews. Okay. And that is part of what they call the community guidelines, not the terms of agreement, not the operating agreement or anything like that. It is the community because reviews on Amazon are a big deal, not like somebody giving you a thumbs up or a heart on Twitter, right? Reviews on Amazon is one of the things that they've built the trust of their platform on. So therefore, they strictly forbid you from getting compensated for giving a review. Now, as the influencer program has been growing and people putting out videos, like I said earlier, saying, I made $100,000 last year or last week, whatever, they keep using the terminology reviews. I do reviews on Amazon, but as I already told you guys, it's called a shoppable video. Part of your shoppable video might be reviewing a product, but that's totally different from posting a customer review. And so here's the easy way for you to think of it. If you're on Amazon and you're like, I'm going to upload my video, or I'm going to do, because you can put a video in a customer review as well. I'm going to put it on Amazon. If you see star ratings, then that means you're on the customer side, and you cannot do that and get compensated for it. Amazon's not even going to compensate you. Okay. Because you're not part of the program. You're just a customer. So when the first thing that, as a customer, when you're reviewing a product, the first thing you have to do is give it a star rating. Then you can write whatever you want to write, say whatever you want to say, upload a picture, upload a video, all that customers can do. And if you're on a product listing in Amazon, you'll see customer reviews are separate from the influencer video. And all the influencer ones will say earns commission customers. And hello, Fearless. I love that name. And you look like you're a bright, bubbly person there with that picture. Thank you for joining. So that's a big difference, and it's a misnomer, and I don't blame this on Amazon. I blame this on just the semantics of the word reviews. People transpose that word reviews and get it conflicted with shoppable videos. So shoppable videos are for influencers. Reviews are for customers.
Thank you.
Now,
Excellent
people will
description.
ask the question, well, can I do a review? If I'm an influencer, can I do a review too? Why? Why would you do that? If Amazon's giving you the opportunity to make money from doing a video, why would you do it for free? Like, what planet are you on right now? You're just like, forget it. I don't want Amazon to pay me for this video. I just want to post a review. Huh? If you don't like a product, don't say anything. Like, didn't your mom ever tell you that? If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say nothing.
Exactly.
Now, you won't get kicked out of the program. With that said, I have never heard anyone get kicked out of the program for doing a customer review. But to me, it just doesn't make sense. You're in the program as an influencer. Even though you are technically still a customer, why do a customer review? Just do an influencer review. Or if you have something bad to say about a product, go on Twitter, go on Facebook, go on YouTube. You don't have to post that on Amazon. Does that make sense, everybody?
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
What do you think, Deborah?
For me?
I see you unmuted, but I still don't hear you.
Oh, I said that makes a lot of sense, what you're saying. That is very clear. And I
Okay,
like how you described
I'm
that.
not sure what's going on there. It could be that it looks like you're unmuted, but you're not really. So I'm just going to wrap things up because, believe it or not, I know we've had so much fun here talking about this program. And, there's more that I could say for sure. But we're at the top of the hour, everyone. Oh, my gosh. This is a good time for me to tell you or remind you, we do these spaces on the first Saturday of every month. And our next space is going to be, as she opens her calendar quietly in the background, will be on December the 7th at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we will be talking about Martin's favorite topic, podcasting. We will be talking about podcasting. So, Martin, I hope that your face is in the place. And of course, Deborah, I hope that your face is in the place. And everyone else, please, please, please come back and join us. And I'll just say a couple closing words about the Amazon Influencer Program. And then I will just see if everyone else wants to talk about how to connect with them and all that good stuff. But the Amazon Influencer and Associates program are an amazing opportunity to make additional income as well as get yourself in front of brands. And you never know, you could get brand deals. You can get free products. You need to disclose that in your content, that I was given this product from this specific brand, but these are my honest opinions, or what have you, however you want to say it. But you do need to disclose, and that's an FTC ruling, not so much Amazon, but Amazon enforces it. But it's an opportunity to make an extra side income. If you have a storefront and you haven't used it, time to dust that bad boy off, upload a couple videos, go into your Amazon app, and you can actually use their collage tool. It's not Canva, but they do have some templates in there where you can, and you don't even have to own the product in this specific case. When you're using that collage tool, you just have an idea. Maybe you're just like, you were browsing Amazon and you were like, oh, I love that sofa. Oh, I love those pillows. Oh, that's a great sconce. Put them together in an ideas list and say, home decor I love, or whatever you want to call it. I'm just using a random example, guys. And you could use that tool to make collages, tag products, and you can earn income, because Amazon is by far and away the number one e-commerce shopping platform in the world. And the others have a long, long way to catch up. I know TikTok is doing their thing, but they are not catching up with Amazon anytime soon.